Moviegoers are hopeful that the fall and Christmas season's theatrical releases can match the 1-2 punch of Barbie and Oppenheimer in July. It's been a great year for movies so far. Though the Hollywood writers and actors strikes are causing some release schedules to change, there are many amazing major end-of-year titles set to hit theatres. Here's a list of 5 upcoming Hollywood movies of 2023. Number 1. Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon almost seems like it won't release at this point, but perhaps that's just a sign of our excitement for this one. The latest Martin Scorsese movie is based on the same named David Grann book, which is about a string of killings in 1920s Oklahoma. Although Scorsese has collaborated with both Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro previously, this is the first time the director is working on a single project with both performers. If it ever gets released, Scorsese's murder mystery Killers of the Flower Moon, starring 2 actors who have only ever worked well with the director, seems to be a strong contender for the year's top film. The actual narrative, which takes place in the 20th century, is taken from a book written by author David Grann in 2017. The movie, which maneuvers via a growing relationship, centers on the discovery of oil in the territory of the Osage people, which sparks a string of horrifying extortion and murders intended to drain the tribe of its fortune. Notably, the crime epic is Leonardo DiCaprio and the director's 6th joint project. Here are the actors who play the primary roles in the film discussing their characters in depth behind the scenes. In Martin Scorsese's true crime epic, Leonardo DiCaprio thought his character Ernest Burkhart to be absolutely fascinating. Ernest's real life, in his words, is simply a representation of the incredible greed of that time. For those who don't know, after arriving in Oklahoma, the character falls in love with Molly, played by Lily Gladstone. According to the film's director, Martin Scorsese, Ernest is under the very strong influence of his uncle Hale and finds himself getting deeper into murder assignments. Lily Gladstone mentioned feeling a tremendous amount of responsibility for her part in Killers of the Flower Moon. Notably, her family is victimized throughout the movie by open extortion and murder to rob them of their money. Osage Country received a lot of unwanted attention as a result of its oil resources. Molly fights the legal system when the killings begin. It's a potent movie, and I'm honoured to stand with the Osage Nation and the surviving family members, she said in her conclusion. Leonardo DiCaprio, on the other hand, feels that Lily's persona embodies the pain of the Osage people. Number 2. Captain Marvel 2, November 10. It's hardly shocking that a Marvel film would appear on a list of the most anticipated films of 2023, and this is especially true when it's The Marvels. Captain Marvel 2, previously titled The Marvels, a follow-up to Brie Larson's Captain Marvel from 2019 and a continuation of what we saw in WandaVision about Monica Rambeau, Teyonah Parris, and Ms. Marvel, Iman Vellani, should be enough to get any fan of comic book movies pumped for the new year. Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, has just finished assisting the Avengers Endgame effort to defeat Thanos, and we last left her. However, viewers of the Disney Plus series Ms. Marvel are aware that Carol unexpectedly exchanged places with Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, in the final episode's end credits. The Marvels will probably explore this plot further and possibly include Monica Rambeau and her passion for space travel. The film will have 3 female superheroes, which makes it an intriguing team-up movie. Always a safe bet for Marvel. Additionally, Nick Fury actor Samuel L. Jackson is anticipated to return, which will appeal to fans of the first Avengers. Despite widespread positive reviews from audiences, there have been some concerns about the film's viability due to its lower budget and the general decline in the popularity of superhero movies. In an effort to ensure a higher international revenue, Disney and Marvel Studios are making an intriguing shift. The international appeal of Marvel movies sets them apart from other blockbusters, and China is one of the biggest international markets. With over $154 million in sales, Captain Marvel is one of the highest grossing Marvel movies in China. Phase 5 of the MCU hasn't had the same success though. Marvel's title has been changed to make it simpler to sell since Marvel Studios wants to make sure it doesn't suffer from the same fate as those earlier films. The narrative, including Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, shall hereby after be referred to as Captain Marvel 2. The formation of the Marvels is the main plot point of the film. Thus, the new title may sound unusual, but it is definitely the greatest choice for Marvel Studios and Disney. Both businesses have had a difficult year at the box office, so they need the Marvels to be a success in order to finish 2023 on a high note. Number 3. Napoleon, November 22. For Napoleon, which chronicles Napoleon Bonaparte's rise to power, director Ridley Scott will reunite with Gladiator star Joaquin Phoenix. The Last Duel from 2021 is incredibly underestimated, and Scott won Best Picture with Gladiator. Scott normally succeeds with these types of historical epics, and this appears to be yet another intriguing 2022 project for Phoenix to get his teeth into. It's inspiring to see Scott, who is 85 years old, keep on innovating and attempting new things. Scott hasn't slowed down in terms of his ambitions. It will be wonderful to see Scott back in his element with a subject as big as Napoleon. Scott needs to frequently meet with the leaders of many departments in order to plan large sequences, like, say, Napoleon's invasion of Russia. This is similar to how a military leader like Napoleon Bonaparte may organise a battle plan in advance with his general staff. These movies, according to Scott, are like scaling a mountain. At the ground level, the peak looks a long way off, but as you climb up the hill with your partners in this ridiculously challenging Lego kit of information, you're trying to put together sometimes pieces don't fit, and you're already at 20,000 feet. It's a continual day-by-day process, but that's why I do it. I love it. Number 4, Wonka. December 15. The premise of a movie about a young Willy Wonka starring Timothée Chalamet could seem ridiculous if it weren't for the great cast and writing directing behind it. It's difficult not to feel a little excited about Willy Wonka's third appearance on the big screen, though given that Paul King, who directed the first 2 Paddington movies, is behind it, and the cast essentially consists of great British actors like Sally Hawkins, Olivia Colman, Jim Carter, and Rowan Atkinson. After Gene Wilder's portrayal of the figure, Wonka has a lot to live up to, and we can just forget about the other narrative. However, it does sound like this telling might hold the key to the golden ticket. Since Wonka has just received a PG classification from the MPAA owing to violence, minor language, and some thematic aspects, life may not be quite so sweet in the candy world. But don't worry, Wonka won't be an all-out bloodbath. The reason for the parental guidance rating may be the baddies. Wonka, which is based on the Roald Dahl book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, follows a young, vivacious Willy Wonka as he begins his career as an inventive chocolatier. However, the candy maker's journey will take a negative turn because his competitors, the chocolate cartels, Arthur Slugworth, Mr. Fickelgruber, and Mr. Prodnose, have other ideas. Fans of Dahl may recognise these individuals because they appear in his original story as miscreants determined to steal Wonka's recipe. We can see a definite conflict between the 4 and the official trailer, as well as teasers depicting Cartel going as far as locking young Willy beneath a glass floor while the chamber fills with liquid chocolate. This struggle between Wonka and the trio may be what give the motivation for a PG certification. Number 5, Maestro, November 22. Let's face it, Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born, should have won Best Picture at the 91st Academy Awards, despite being defeated by Green Book of all movies. Although there were some other excellent choices, Cooper's directorial debut may have been the best telling of that story, which had been around for almost a century. This is no minor accomplishment to be sure. With the film Maestro, which he also directed, co-wrote with Josh Singer, the writer of Spotlight, and stars in a conductor and composer Leonard Bernstein, Cooper will have another opportunity to win an Oscar. It would be fascinating to watch how Cooper handles directing another musically themed drama after seeing the first shocking photos as him as Bernstein. Cooper may have been entitled to win Best Picture with A Star is Born, but appears that he will try again with Maestro. With prominent individuals, there is a persistent tendency to trick ourselves into thinking that because we see and hear them so frequently, we must genuinely know them. However, spending years listening to someone's musical output or keeping up with all of their TV appearances won't necessarily help us better comprehend their innermost thoughts or choices. The main concept of Bradley Cooper's new movie, Maestro, is that, like everyone, celebrities are unknowable. Despite focusing on the life of renowned American conductor and composer Leonard Bernstein, Maestro stands out from the other biopics thanks to its impersonistic approach and preference for creating beautiful imagery over recounting biographical data. That's all for now. If you think some other movies should be on this list, let us know in the comments below. For more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.